Mike is the guy. He's the GOAT. You hire Mike, you can fire everyone else. Oh, I just received Mike's email. Oh, he sent me his resume. Oh, you want me to review the resume? No problem, Mike. Mike, I've got a team of people here who would love to review your resume with me. And we will make sure that it's professional, and we will make sure that you get placed at the best company of your desire. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification and smash down that red thing and make it gray. So let's talk about resume reviews together, shall we? Mike's resume is top notch, so let's take a look at it. So here we go. This is Mike Batome. Mike Batome, ladies and gentlemen, is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now, if we read a summary, which is, for most hiring agencies, the summary is the hook. It's the first thing that people are going to look at and read. That's the gist of the TLDR, the whole, synopsis of all of it. The summary here reads as such. I am a hard worker who always try to do as had tail dwans. I love reached in sales, high predication, and productic. My application strategies, more about my goals from them. All right, so it's a little rough. Like I would recommend a few spelling corrections and, some other pieces that maybe would highlight some of what he does right out the bat. He doesn't have, he's a project manager or a sales associate right in the summary. I would probably put that in there, Mike. Now, as far as the design, let's just talk about that. I think this is really great. I think he took the approach from the honeybees of society and put them here, which is the most efficient way to create any kind of, to fill up the most space. It is the most natural, efficient way. A honeycomb is absolutely the best way to put many things inside of the most efficient space. Circles would leave gaps and holes, and so honeycombs, or hexagons in this case, create this pattern that can stick together like DNA strands. Now let's review Mike's experience. Mike is a project manager and sales associate at Alliance. Mike worked there from 2017 to ongoing. He's currently working there. Mike is working from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, or at least that's where the Alliance company is. So what is Alliance? Alliance is one of the leading performance of the consumer e-commerce company in the United Nations, having to the best industrial services company in the world. Mike's highlights include he achieved a 2-year strategy to increase Swiss courageance and profit activities for 4 and project management teams to achieve community of the store program and developed a successful content for the marketing company. Mike also led a team of 100 people and increased risk of ranking to $10 million in 2017 of the top 25 company partners. Mike also led internal and successful marketing campaigns and increased in overall productivity. He also went on to complete 12 students and 2 events and 10 different support teams. He also increased the company to 500% in 7 years' time. So as you can see, Mike is a strong candidate who's leading with all of these achievements. So that was a great, I can see why he still works there, and he's worked there at Alliance for quite a few years, since 2017 until now. So he's still there and he's happy there. It seems like he's really, he's the employee of the month. He's just a go-getter. Now let's move on to his previous position before Alliance. Mike was a project geologist in the front office, and Mike worked at Social American from 2014 to 2017 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So Social American is an automation tools and consulting schools and sales and services in the United Kingdom for health and strategy and experience in the field of students of the country and technical products and services in India. They are a production of mobile explorations and servicing services, which is a highly desired company. Social American is a great company to work for. Now, you may be asking, well, what did Mike do at this company? Well, Mike Batome, one of the best project managers and sales associates and project geologists, worked at Social American. He has managed 20 partnership consultants and marketing consultants. Now, I think maybe, Mike, you may want to break this out into, is this total 20 partnership consultants and marketing consultants, or is it 20 partnership consultants and 20 marketing consultants? Maybe make it a little bit more clear, a little bit more verbose there, so we can understand that you've, not just done help 20 consultants, you've done 40. And he also managed a team of 10 engineers and achieved a top 5 ANUM initiative, which is mind-blowing to me. He also managed 2 new private projects in the first 12 markets in the US and service. He also managed 5 projects at a service contract with a 50% plan in 2016. He also developed and implemented a complete contract with over 300 employees. So this Mike is the guy. He's the GOAT. You hire Mike, you can fire everyone else, okay? Mike is the guy. So Mike, hats off to you for just being a true go-getter, a true pioneer of dedication and commitment. I want to hire you so badly. So let's review Mike's education. So Mike has an MA at HSG in Marketing, Services and Communication Management at the University of St. Gallen from 2010 to 2014 in St. Gallen, Switzerland. Mike graduated with a first-class honors in the top 5% of the cohort. He studied abroad and studied about the school with a first-class honors. Oh, that's Mike. So you studied abroad and then you studied about the school, University of St. Gallen, with first-class honors. Well, congratulations, Mike. I really think that you are the most promising candidate that I have seen. It's a beautiful resume. It does need a few tweaks here and there from a grammatical standpoint in the summary and potentially some other misspelled words, but we can just sort of look past that because we see your dedication. We see your commitment. We also see that you enjoy reading, socializing, and activities, and gaming, and travel. And from what I can tell, you do each one of these, A through E, approximately the same amount of time is shared. So you really allocate your time nicely to all the things that you really love doing, which are these 5 things. Now, what I really find interesting is, and this makes a lot of sense, Mike, because you don't relax a lot. It's true. You're here, relaxing right here, and it's just the smallest little inkling of relaxing, and I admire that about you. And it just shows throughout your resume. The achievements, accomplishments, and accolades that you have completed here are just impressive. There is no time for relaxing for you, Mike. But now I really love that you are an experimenter. You're constantly experimenting. In fact, you're doing this about twice as much as every other activity that you've listed here. And learning, well, that's about the same as everything else. So I'm really impressed here, Mike, that you really have your head on straight. Now, what I'm really blown away with, though, and I think this is where we're going to make our decision, because we were looking for somebody with Dreamweaver experience. It's a skill that is often overlooked. Now, I'm pretty sure you could probably manage 300 employees through Dreamweaver. I guess you just dream it and you weave it and it just works. And the other, I really love that you know Microsoft Visual Studio and Zen Studio and NetBeans and Eclipse and Sublime Text and Xcode. These IDEs that you've chosen here are some of the best in the world. And I think it's clear that all of these, through your learning and experimenting, you've learned all of these technologies and you've learned how to become a project geologist and a project manager and sales associate through that. I'm just blown away. I'm not sure if you learned this outside of schooling, because I noticed that you didn't list it down here in some of your achievements or some of the things that you've learned. But regardless, I am highly impressed with this. I really think that this graph tells me everything about you, Mike. I don't really even need to interview you. I really believe that I could hire you based on just paper. Now, you'd have to tighten up a little bit more of this. As I mentioned before, make the summary a little bit more compelling. People in the human resources department may not read all of this in detail, but they will definitely read this summary, and they will compare that against your resume, against, Sally's resume or Tommy's resume or Jane's resume. The summary is I mean, if you want, you could probably just omit all of this, just remove all of the work history and just point an arrow to my time here, my time section. I think this is all you need. And point them to the technologies that you've learned, because these are the ones that will be strong in the future and forever until the internet power goes out. So I really think, Mike, you're a fine candidate. What I will do is I will refer you to some other companies that I know are actively hiring. And I promise that within a week, maybe even 2 days, but I don't want to oversell it. But I promise within a week, you, Mike, will find the career of your dreams, and you will leave Alliance Corporation, and you will work at the next company until you reach your hospice care. So thank you so much, Mike, and all of you watching. I hope you found this video helpful. This video here this is all fake, folks. What you just saw was all AI generated by neural networks and trained on public resources. Now, have no fear. Your resume is better by a human. So make sure that humans do it. And also, don't worry, your jobs aren't going to be replaced. Think of AI as a extension to your brain and a positive thing. As we train it with positive data and accurate data, it will get better over time, and it will complement your life, not harm your life. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you thought this was a little funny. And obviously it's a little different than my traditional videos, but hey, I'm experimenting, and so should you. And just like Mike experimented. So thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Have a great day. I mean, is that even working? It is working. Okay.